Don't blink. If you blink, welcome to my computer show. You guys are doing well. Having a wonderful day on this very early morning. The sun is rising. I want to film some videos. So without further ado, let's film some freaking videos. You down? I'm down. So we are finished. Holy shit! I thought I was done with season. No, we're perfect. We finished Who Can Be Tied to Go the longest. So season 4, episode 7 is where we at. There's not gonna be a huge intro because we already talked about the season. And yeah, like I told you yesterday, kind of like a little bit burned out from the show, but hey, it's all positive. Who can handle more torture? Who can handle more torture is checking here because we're recording the video one, which is the sunrise, and it is beautiful. Oh, I also want to check the temperature of the phone. Good. It's because it's 11 degrees outside, so it's kind of cold, but still. So we can handle more torture to me is a great episode. It's an episode where it's a great episode, but it's a bad episode because the great episode is if you didn't do who has most balls, who has the most balls, this would be better. It feels very similar. They're one and the same. So there's a couple of repeated competition even. So the first one is who can handle more torture. The first one is hot sauce. So they do a thing of hot sauce. Kenny doesn't do it because it's like he's a pussy. He says he's a pussy, but he's not a pussy. The second one is they think I'll tell you I think it's just easy if I tell you the torture first, and then what we'll do is we'll talk about it's a really good episode. There's no strategy in this one. You got Spenny and Kenny putting frozen hot dogs up their asshole. Kenny doesn't do it. He pretends like he's doing it, and then Spenny loses, and Spenny wins, so he gets more points. You got guess what? Okay, we're good. You got another competition where they put tape, and this time it's hardcore. Spenny wins also. Like I said, when it's such a weird episode because of who has the most balls. But what I think I should do is when I'm there, I should listen to them both, one next to the others. So you watch the first one, then you watch the second one. I think that would be the best thing to do. I think that would be the smartest thing to do actually. Another one they're sucking a false cock. It's an emotional. They're also getting whipped from two dominatrix versus Fet Knights. But then, and we're gonna know more torture and who has the biggest balls. They're both a whip or getting whipped competition. So this is why I say it is so similar, which is not great. I don't like that. Oh, sorry. Just because the phone is dirty and I want to clean it so I can have the best camera possible. So it does feel the same. Now, Kenny wins and wins, and it's not going to say, "Hey, I'm sorry." And this is, in this way, this is the craziest. But there's a lot of things that he did that was crazier. So he's like, "I'm sorry, I'm not competing this week." All of these competitions are just my way, and he shows this wall, and there's spiders, and it's actually really cool. It's actually really diabolical, really evil. He says, "I'm not gonna compete this episode. I have a chance to humiliate Spenny 7 or 8 times, and all I need to do is humiliate myself only once." So it's kind of like a crazy competition, but it's just nice. The nicest thing he did was the dominatrix. What they do is they whip him, and they really whip Spenny. And what they do is they put marks of red lipstick on his back, so it seemed like he whipped him to blood. So it's crazy. There's also the bar collar. So Kenny is like, well, if I don't win a couple, Spenny's gonna know I'm not trying. So what he does, and that's really smart, he takes a bar collar and he switch it off. So by switching it off, it doesn't work. So he pretend like it's hurting. And what else am I missing? Oh yeah, there's the hockey player. They're coming in. See, this is all memories. This is crazy. Um, See, we can handle more torture. Oh shit. See, it's already giving me problem. It's already giving me problem. Yeah, this is too late. I have to come back at like 6 o'clock, not 6:40. Oh, I have a freezer, so fuck it. Watching it is crazy. Watching it for the first time is crazy. But you have to be in the mood to watch Freddy vs. Kenny. You have to be in the mood to realize how crazy this is. When you're not in the mood to watch it, or when you just didn't watch it, to recap, it's really hard, right? Like, for example, I forgot to tell you guys that Aki, there's a team of Aki that goes in and check Spenny. And when it comes to Spenny's time, they don't have time. But, which is great because we're seeing this. And I never noticed this before, which is maybe me being slow. But, it's so fucking funny because in the first one, which is who have more balls, they break wood pallets, and then when it comes to breaking the wood pallets, there's no more. So when it comes to the hockey slamming you, they run out of time. So you see, it's kind of similarities, which ultimately speaking, because the show's so enjoyable, you don't mind. But when it's time to tell the tale, it's not great. The humiliation is Kenny does some theater just to humiliate himself. So it's kind of funny. Eight, first guy to stop singing loses. I'm not even gonna talk about this one. It's one of the most boring episode ever. I'm not even gonna talk about it. I'm sorry. First guy to stop singing is shitty, 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 shitty. Sorry, I refuse to do it. I refuse to do it. If it was season one, maybe, but season four, fuck you. Um, there's two left, which is we can obese the longest, can commit the most crime. So we can be obese the longest is just so interesting. It's full of fat phobia. This episode would get them canceled. But at the same time, it's so entertaining. So what they do is they both carry the weights. And in this one again, I have to give props to Spenny. Some props to Spenny. They both have to carry extra weight, and they carry an extra 80 pounds. I don't remember if it's 80 pounds or 80 kilos, but I think it's 80 pounds because 80 kilos is too much. And they have to carry the weight, and what they do is they just try to survive. So with Spenny, what he does is he has weight, and he has like ropes with weight tied up. So he's still wearing the weight. Kenny has a high tech. He has like a little bit of an armor with some weight on there, and it's weighing 80 pounds. So Spenny complains, and he says it's not fair that he has this, and this is crazy. This is the reason why I like Kenny a lot more is because I feel like Kenny was a good guy behind the scene. So because Spenny's like, holy shit, and he has like makeup artists and shit like that. And he asks Kenny, like, where'd you get the money for that? He's like, it's not me, production paid for it. So then Spenny goes to production, and he says to the production, hey, how come he has high-tech gear and I don't? And the girl, the woman's in charge, she said, well, Kenny's smart, he thought about it. And Spenny's like, I'm smart too, what are you talking about? Right? So he got a bit offended, but she defended Kenny, which kind of proves that Kenny was a good dude. So Spenny, in a lot of sense, is kind of nuts. Like, for example, with Spenny, it goes on out public and he shows it. For example, in the meat eating competition, which we did today. Yeah, we did today. So he's eating turkey, and because he loves to eat turkey, and for Spenny, this is a way to win the competition just by eating turkey. And there's a woman that goes in, and she sees him eating turkey. And she's like, "Why are you doing that?" And then Spenny answers, "I'm in a competition," and the girl's like, "Why? Like, what does that bother you?" Right? You're gonna see that who can piss more people. This is gold, but in this one, because we're talking about this one, with the weight, it's so funny. It goes to get like a kind of like a walker to alleviate the pain or alleviate because it's heavy. It's Spenny's like, oh, when I'm doing the dishes, it's really hard. So I can imagine it being hard. And he goes in the store, even put diaper here to so it's softer on his shoulder. So he goes to the store, and the woman that sees him, she thinks he's a special need kid. So she tells him, "Wow, you're so strong," which really, really made me laugh because it was like this guy is clearly special need when Spenny isn't. Or for the longest of time, and this is I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I thought Spenny had autism. I think but now when he's older, he's a bit more chill. I think it was his competition. So what else did Spenny do? Oh yeah, he complained to production, and production gave him some weight, and he has the exact same spy shop, and he has like a pencil that you can put in the door. So this is how Kenny cheated. However, Kenny cheated right away. So Kenny goes in. Now it's Kenny's turn, and it's a bit more fun. Kenny goes in, and he's like right away. He puts in the weights and he drops them. Now the cool thing about his armor is its pockets, so you can empty the pockets, and it's not going to look like he's weighting less. So then Kenny goes to the whole Shazam, and this is fucking amazing. This is outrageous. This is cancelable. He's the guy himself, and he puts a fat suit, right? He puts a fat, like, jawline. He really fattened himself up, and then it's kind of crazy. This really changed my view of the show. This is when ADHD takes over also. So he has all of like a wig. He has everything, and then Spenny's like, "Why are you doing that?" He says, "Because I'm an actor. If I feel like I'm 80 pounds, I can be 80 pounds. If I don't feel I'm 80 pounds, I will never be able to pull it off." Which kind of makes sense, right? So long story short, they start fucking around. He goes to a drive-through, and he's on his walker. He's eating chip. He's doing the drive-through and the highway, eating chips, and somebody throws bread to a pigeon, and he runs to eat the bread, which is crazy. And he goes to a ice cream shop, and he talks to a kid, and I think the kid was a fan of the show, and he's talking to the kid. Is like, got really sexy muscle to the kid, right? He makes fun of them because of people with I'm overweighted. Look at this shit. Look at this. I shouldn't be laughing, but to me it's funny because he's like, "Oh, I'm big bone," and he plays every stereotype. Then goes to the house, and he's wearing glasses, and he's wearing the whole kit, and usually Kenny cannot stop himself from making fun of Spenny. So he goes in, and he's talking to Spenny, and Spenny talking to Kenny. He's like, "Oh, you're reading a book," which Kenny never does. Kenny never reads a book. Like, "Oh, you're reading a book? Is it good?" And then the guy is like, so. So then what he shows is, I show that he has an extra finger. So the extra finger, which is super, super, super complex, is Kenny is missing one part of the finger, which I never noticed before that time. And then when I noticed, I'm like, holy shit, it's true. And he had a guy do a suit of himself, a mask of himself, and Spenny see that the guy has a finger. It's like, this is not Kenny, this is somebody else. So he goes into the room, and he see that Kenny's playing video games, and he takes a knife, and he's like, "Oh, I got you, you cheated." However, guess what? It was the guy disguised as Kenny, which is really funny, and this is so fucking such a good episode. So the Kenny takes off the wig, takes off the mask, takes off everything, and Spenny is blind. See, it's not just about. I used to think it was just about Kenny being Machiavellian and Kenny being like fucking smart and Kenny breaking the rule, and how is he gonna cheat this week? But it's also about the reaction of Spenny. Like Spenny thought he had him, but no, I'm a step ahead. Which is, to me, this is really, 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 really good. Like this really makes me like the show even more because again, it's a competition. It's a competition of two people competing, but it's also a competition of who is the better player, right? Kenny has a way of playing, Spenny has a way of playing, and at the end of the day, this is their strategy and shit, right? So pretty good episode. Who can commit more crime? Most crime. Good episode. They want to commit crime. They say you cannot get arrested, you cannot get a ticket, you cannot get stopped. That's the rules. So commit more crime. Just so good, dude. So good. So Spenny started committing crime, and it's crazy. It's insane because he needs a lawyer to help him out. He has a what should we call it? He starts drinking, he starts driving, he starts stealing, he starts insulting people. He's drunk, right? And the funniest thing about this episode is he gets really drunk. He's supposed to get a little bit tipsy. He gets really, really, really drunk. In the sense of he thinks he is supposed to be at 0.8 when it's 0.08. So he gets really drunk. It's just him committing small crime. So, for example, he'll steal a fish, right? It's so stupid because this is not his fault. This is not Spenny's fault. This is his mom's fault, Corinne's fault. I'm 100% sure of it. I'm 100% sure of it. It's Corinne's fault. So, because Spenny was really sheltered. So, for example, he'll take some shocks for kids, right? And he'll write on the wall MSG, which is a chemical that enhances food taste. So something that tastes shitty will taste amazing. So he writes this, but he writes this with a shock, so he can just wipe it off. Or he steals a fish. He buys an aquarium, and the fish is free with the aquarium, you know? So he commits a really small crime, but it's thing that you would do as a kid. Kenny, however, he breaks everything. He's aggressive towards the crew. He gives alcohol to kids. He talks about bestiality. He screams in the hospitals. Well, not in the hospital, but next to the hospital. So he commits the most crime. And even then, like, we used to have, now we don't have it anymore, but we used to have newsstand and get a couple of news. So he takes them and he throws them. And he just commits so many crimes. What is one crime that he did that was crazy? Do I remember? What is the one crime that I remember? Oh yeah, he puts a garbage in the Post Canada, which is the mail post, the postal service, and he gets arrested a couple of times. But then what happened is he goes to pee, and he gets a ticket, so he loses. So again, it's a great episode, but it's so complex because it is only good if I tell you everything that happened. It's only good that you see it. Like the crime that I committed isn't amazing, but it's still crimes. Like for example, Spenny ends up puking in the park. There's a kid that comes to him and say, "Hey, are you okay, Mister?" And he's like, "No, leave me alone." At the end, Kenny puts on a prisoner outfit, and people are throwing tomato at him, which is kind of cool. It's not the greatest episode, but it is pretty good. Season 4 let me down, dude, for reals. So now, I'm gonna do something that I shouldn't do. But, you know what? Should we do another video or not? Okay, let's do another video.